Let's address the elephant in the room and the reason Fred Matiang'i may never become president. It's not about his track record. It's not about his speeches. It's one man, Uhuru Kenyatta. Experts are warning that if the opposition doesn't cut ties with the past, Matiang'i, Kalonzo, Gachagua, all of them might drag Kenya into 5 more years of William Ruto.
Ati munasema tutam.
This is the full story of how Uhuru Kenyatta's support might destroy the man he's trying to make president. Let's get into it.
Wait, yes, these are things I want you to look at. Watching mchezo bwana. Mimi, I don't like these kind of things.
Yes, sir.
Wait, how many Kenyans can work at construction site? Tumepea muhindi kwa permit kuja ku manage site. Excuse me. Sitaki kabisa.
Fred Matiang'i is known as a strict man. When he was in charge of education and later security, he looked like a leader who gets things done. But here's the big problem. He's also seen as Uhuru Kenyatta's man.
And there are those that feel you are an Uhuru Kenyatta project.
What does that mean to be someone's project? You know, what does that mean?
In 2025, the Jubilee Party made it official. They said Matiang'i is our 2027 presidential candidate.
Our presidential candidate, Fred Matiang'i.
What they didn't say out loud was this. It's not just a campaign. It's a comeback plan for Uhuru Kenyatta.
There is no way Uhuru can exist in your speech if he is not there. So if we say he is talking about I'm not a Uhuru project, what that means is that he is trying to contradict a truth which is speaking from inside him. The more he speaks about Uhuru, the more it becomes a reality and a truth that he is Uhuru's project.
Now, let's talk about why that matters. Uhuru Kenyatta's family, as known now, has made billions from government deals secretly. They've used proxy companies, they've avoided taxes, they've made money from public roads like the Nairobi Expressway.
A tax dispute has now revealed that Ms. Ngote and Robert Trust were all along proxies for Mr. Kenyatta's family.
And guess what? All this happened when Uhuru Kenyatta was the president. So when Matiang'i is backed by Uhuru, many Kenyans are asking, will he really go after those who stole from us, or will he protect them?
Can you imagine that these guys actually bought shares in the China Roads and Bridge? There was nothing China Roads and Bridge Network. It was the Kenyatta Roads and Bridge Network. And they used public funds and loans to build the Nairobi Expressway. And now they actually own it. And so every time you pay that toll to use the expressway, it's not going to the Kenyan government, but to the Kenyatta family, and they never even spent a dime to build it. How? What? Nah, yo, we've been deep asleep, man. This is insane.
People are angry. The economy is hurting. Food is expensive. Taxes are high. And in the middle of all that, we see stories about powerful families owning offshore companies and making billions while we pay tolls.
Nobody should come here and tell me that this is why. Do you know Uhuru Kenyatta warned you? Warned you against what? Uhuru Kenyatta warned people against what? Against the same person who is just like him?
That's why experts say this is the most dangerous time to run for president, especially with dirty hands or even with dirty friends.
It seems like it was a plan that even if Raila becomes the president, then Ruto will be sneaked into the government. Howsoever, it was also a plan. If Ruto goes in, of course Raila Odinga will be sneaked in. Msikuja hapa, oh, you are told. Mumu, use your head.
And this is exactly why the opposition might be in big trouble. Because it's not just about Matiang'i, it's also about Kalonzo, it's about Gachagua, and the others from the united opposition, who are seen as part of the same old game. These are not fresh faces. They are not the fighters that the people are looking for. And here's the worst part. The opposition still hasn't picked someone who has the moral authority to say, I will jail the looters, even if they are my friends.
Ruto is going to jail.
Certain.
He will not escape it. He will not escape it. It may not happen today, but within 10 years, Ruto will be in jail.
So, if you go online today, there are names that keep popping up. They are not big politicians. They are not people with massive campaign money. Names like Okiya Omtata and David Maraga.
Have you seen those posters that have been doing the rounds?
Maraga and Omtata.
They are human rights activists and strong defenders of the Constitution. They've fought the government in court. They've won some of those battles, and they've called out corruption from every side. They are not perfect, but what makes them stand out is this: people believe that they are not thieves.
I have had discussions in Maraga, and I'm telling you what we need to do first of all. Do we have an agreement of minds? Maraga is not tainted, Omtata is not tainted.
So you come together.
And that is rare in Kenyan politics. And that's why many Kenyans proceed to say, we do not care if you are rich, we do not care about your tribe. All we care about is, are you going to return that which was stolen?
We have got a government made of thieves for thieves by thieves. How come some people can live so large when others have nothing? How come? That some of them are even now richer than the country in terms of balance sheet.
Now, that doesn't mean Maraga or Omtata will win, but it means something bigger, that the mood of the nation has changed. Kenyans are not just asking for good plans, they are asking for justice.
And so every time you pay that toll to use the expressway, it's not going to the Kenyan government, but to the Kenyatta family, and they never even spent a dime to build it. How?
So let's go back to Matiang'i. Can he become the leader Kenyans need? Yes, he is smart. Yes, he is tough. But he has one big weakness. He has not broken away from Uhuru Kenyatta. And of course, he hasn't outright said, if Uhuru Kenyatta is found guilty of corruption, I will let the law take its course. And even if he said it, I'm not sure Kenyans would actually believe him. In simple words, he hasn't shown that he's ready to throw out the old ways. And in 2027, if he makes the mistake to stand on stage next to Uhuru Kenyatta, no matter what he says, people will remember the expressway scandal, the land grabs, and the tax tribunal ruling.
For the first time, let me say this publicly. Your Excellency, I thank you for the trust you have bestowed, for the faith you had in me and us, and for the incredible trust that you had, particularly in me.
Experts say that unless Matiang'i clears the air, voters will stay away. And if they do that, Ruto might just win again.
Billion. Yes. Was stolen on election day by Uhuru Kenyatta and Matiang'i. What the report says is that this money cannot be traced.
And right now, the opposition is in trouble. They are too many and they all want to be presidents. They are seen to be power hungry and all of their hands are not exactly clean.
The united opposition washa create 5 scenarios za power sharing bills, in case they clinch power. And kuna mixed reactions from Kenyans. Kuna section imejam sana. Wanasema, we are trying to run away from stories za politics, za shareholding, leaders who come together to juu ya venye wata share power. And tushaanza kusikia hizi story from you guys wenye mnasema nyinyi ndio the saviors. So how come?
If the opposition wants to win, they need 3 things. They need a leader with clean hands. They need a clear message that comes from someone who is actually believable, like Kibaki once was. And lastly, they need to break away from the past. Because here's the bitter truth. Uhuru's support is not a blessing. For Matiang'i, it could be a curse.
If this country has to change, Matiang'i can never go near the presidency. All the evil we are suffering now was started in the Uhuru administration. You must be very keen to realize Matiang'i was a key CS, actually was the most important person in that administration. All the evils of that administration, he has a hand in them. Rolaka land, that's a big graft case that is involved in. The Yala River killings, the odious deaths. There are so many, all the corruption in the Uhuru administration. Matiang'i has something to do with it.
So will Fred Matiang'i stand up and tell every Kenyan that he won't be protecting any thief, even if they help him rise? Or will he remain silent and lose the trust of a nation that is done being lied to?
Have you had a conversation with the former president about your interests?
I have not asked him about whether or not I should run, but we discuss Kenyan affairs every time we have an opportunity.
Experts are curious and voters are watching because the next election might not just be about politics. It's about breaking a pattern. The pattern of electing a favorite thief every 5 years. And the biggest question isn't who will win, it's who will clean up the mess. Subscribe.